Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. As you guys know, this is the Reddit reviews. I'm going to read off some stories on Reddit, give my honest opinion, and then I would love to hear your opinion in the comment section. So today I found 4 really juicy, good stories, so let's get into it. Okay, first story. I think my husband is sleeping with the babysitter. Okay. I would like to thank everyone for their support and ideas on how to deal with the situation. Yesterday morning, I met up with Ella and told her that we wouldn't be needing her services anymore due to my little sister being available to watch the kids, which is true. She quietly said that she understood and said to let her know if I would change my mind. My husband called me 5 minutes later, sounding very upset about Ella being fired. I think Ella told him, but he claimed her dad told him that we fired her. I told him that was my final decision and there was no changing it. He came home 20 minutes later and asked me why I didn't talk to him first about firing her. I told him about everything I've noticed between them, from the text to the clothing attire she wears. He denied everything and said it was all in my head. I told him if he wants this marriage not to end in a divorce, he had to cut all contact with her. After 1 hour of arguing, he finally agreed not to contact her anymore. I honestly don't have the mental energy to deal with a divorce, split my kids, and date again. I don't want to be the single mom, always busy and unhappy. I told him to never bring her up again. I don't know 100% if they had an affair, but I think it's better for my health not to find out. I think I'm going to quit my job and raise my kids, work on my marriage. I'm not sure if this was all because I've been working a lot of hours and have been distant from my husband. Thanks again for the support. One more thing. Men, stop messaging me pictures of your private parts. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay, what do I think about this? I think that's kind of... Well, okay, let's break it down. I feel like, okay, if you got the babysitter, yeah, I think you did the right thing by letting her go. I think you should have been a big girl and had the conversation with your husband beforehand. Like, sweetheart, this is your husband. This is your family. You should feel more than comfortable to say, sweetheart, I'm noticing X, Y, and Z. I don't appreciate it. I'm feeling disrespected. And these are the steps that I need to see be taken in order for things to be right. So I think you were right to fire her, but I think you should have had the conversation with him beforehand and y'all, make the joint decision. I'm feeling some type of way about Ella because, sweetheart, this is a job and you've been let go. Don't go calling your daddy. Don't go calling your mama. You're a big girl and you've been fired. Like, forget about it. So I don't like that she went and was all, like quiet about it and like, okay, but then went and told her dad, or even called the husband. Do not call my husband. But see, that would have been avoided if she would have told her husband beforehand and then fired the girl. Because that make it seem like only she did it. And instead of it being a joint decision, and then what could the girl say? You know what I mean? So I don't feel like she did. She did it backwards, basically. I feel like he got a lot of nerve to argue with her for over an hour. What is there to argue about? The girl is gone, and it is what it is. She doesn't give us enough backstory about their life, about their marriage and stuff. But I understand her not wanting to be a divorced woman. I'm a married woman with, multiple children. And even going through a separation is hard. And so I understand not wanting to be divorced. Let's see. The last part is she doesn't know if they had an affair. I agree. If some people feel like they want to know. I've always been of the mindset, I don't want to know. If we're married and you step out, don't let it come back to me. And I don't want to know. Whenever you decide, you say, you figure you're going to stop, don't have a heavy heart and then come to me and put all that on me, all that unnecessary negative energy on me, all because you feel bad about it. You have to live with the fact that you broke your covenant and vow between me, you, and God. Don't put that on me. So I understand why she says she don't want to know about it. I would not either, but I would want to see changes. And when I first read that she said she was going to quit her job, I kind of chuckled because, like, girl, that's a little extreme. But I don't know. It depends on how busy she is, how busy he is. That may be the best choice for her, is to, quit her job. If she's working a job where, or if he has a job already that covers all of their finances, yeah, why not? Take a short break from work and focus on your kids and your marriage. And then when you feel, more secure, then go back into the workplace or find a work situation that doesn't have you so busy to where your mind is racing about what your husband may be doing. She said, I've been working a lot of hours and been distant. I don't agree that being distant from your husband does not give him the right. Being distant from your spouse does not give them the right to step out. It can be a reason why they may be, they may be feeling distant, sure. And that's just life. When you're married, you're going to go through times where y'all are all cuddled up all the time. Then sometimes life gets busy and you guys don't have that much time together. That's life, and you just have to deal with it. I wouldn't take that on as like something wrong with her per se. He made the choice, and again, we don't know if he actually did, but hypothetically, he made the choice to step out and entertain someone else, as opposed to working harder at his marriage to find those intimate moments with his wife, whether it be, whatever time, whatever 15, 20 minutes you can find in a week to spend time with your spouse and not be distant. I think it's just an easy way out to say, well, you weren't around, so I had to entertain someone else. No, you didn't. You could have worked harder to make it work between us. So, I don't know. That's basically my thoughts about it. I think, quit your job, sure. Focus on the family and the kids and your marriage, sure. And try to get maybe into some counseling and see if you can get to the bottom of where the distance and the disconnect started. And I would also say you addressed your initial feelings about old girl, which is good, but don't let that eat away at you at all times. Okay. Next story. Not invited to husband's close family where he is the best man. Am I overreacting? So I guess you mean not invited to my husband's close family wedding. So it says, hey, oh shit. Long story short, my husband is the best man for his close friend's wedding. I don't know if she means friend or family, because she said close family in the title, but she said close friend in the first sentence. Anyways, she said they have a guest number of under 300, so both the bride and let me start over. I'm sorry, y'all. Long story short, my husband is the best man for his close friend's wedding. They have a guest number of under 300 or so. Both bride and groom's side have a big family, but I've not been invited, and I find it extremely rude and inconsiderate since I am the best man's wife and also know the groom. My partner doesn't think it's a big deal at all, and I'd understand if the numbers were less or it was more of an intimate wedding, but it's not. As he will be spending a lot of time and money on this wedding, and it's his close friend, I expect to be invited, but my husband doesn't think it's rude at all. During our wedding, one of my husband's close friends was invited, and so was his wife. He came without his wife, and I found it extremely weird. One of my friends is also getting married, and I made sure my husband was on the guest list, as I couldn't imagine attending such a big occasion without him. Also, I said I couldn't go to my friend's wedding without him. Could you please give me your opinion, as this situation is really annoying me, borderline making me angry? Thanks. Child, I feel one way really strongly. So I'm gonna go with understanding her first. I guess I understand, we're married, we are one, you want to be there, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I guess I get it. On the flip side, this is not your wedding. What if they don't like you? They do not have to invite you. Like, I don't like when people start to feel entitled of somebody else's event, of somebody else's time and space. They don't want you there. Move on. You don't have to go everywhere where that your husband goes. And I feel like it's okay if, you have one event that you go to without him, and he has an event that he goes to without you. I don't really think it's a big deal. I agree with the husband. It's not rude. It's not a big deal. It's how they feel. Sorry. And if the reason is they only have 300 guests, and both sides of the groom's family are big, then it's easy. It's very easy to get to 300 people when both sides of the family are big. And if they have big families, then that's a lot of family dynamics of, you got to invite your second cousin and your third cousin and their wife. And I don't know if they're going to have kids there, but it may or may not be children involved. So this lady right here, I say, baby, you're doing too much. Get out of your feelings and just get over it. It's just one night. If y'all stay married long enough, you're going to go to plenty of weddings. If you have children, you're going to have to plan their weddings, and it's not a big deal. It's just one night. I don't like that she's going overboard about it. Let's check out some of these comments. Somebody said it's rude that you aren't invited. It was cowardly of your husband. It's cowardly that your husband won't stand up for you. Stand up for what? So he about to go in and interject on their plans and say, you need to invite my wife. If somebody did that to me, okay, you're off my list. It's easy, simple. You and your wife can stay home. Oh, excuse me. Somebody said, my advice is call a friend and spend the day doing something fun. They're absolutely rude and they don't deserve to take a space in your life. No, the first part I agree with. The second part is bullcrap. Go call a friend and spend the day with that friend and do something fun. The second part is not rude. And when a person, this commenter, is saying they don't deserve to take a space in your life, vice versa. She doesn't deserve to take a space in their life. We don't even know who this lady is. We don't know what type of history they have. We don't know her mannerisms or what her energy is like. She could be a nasty, nasty person who feels entitled to be wherever her husband is. We don't know. So considering they didn't extend an invitation to her, I'm going to err on the side of you're not that great to be around. And on somebody's big day, that's their one day. Unless they get married a bunch of times, they get one day. And I feel like no matter what, you should have your way on that one day. Period. Somebody said if he didn't even think it was an issue, I'd be reconsidering. First, how my husband loves and respects me. Second, how is he worried that I may see him? How is he worried that I may see him with and his friends, not intimate wedding showing you just that don't even make sense. But I will say this, baby, it has nothing to do with love or respect. I'm putting myself in her shoes. If I got invited to a wedding and somebody said, hey, we don't want your husband there. Okay. I honestly don't think I would make a big deal about it. And I know my husband wouldn't make a big deal about it. And if vice versa, if somebody invited my husband to their wedding and said, we don't necessarily want your wife there, I'd be like, okay. I'm just that type of person, though. I definitely don't go where I'm not wanted. And I don't make a big deal about it because I have enough going on in my own life not to really get into all of that. All right, next story. Marriage has been disappointing. We've been married for 2 years now, together 1 year before that. And it was like as soon as we got married, the romance on his end stopped. He stopped taking me on dates, stopped being interested in me sexually, and stopped listening to me. He teases me and puts me down constantly. I've put so much work over the past 2 years, including counseling, and nothing seems to help us get into a good spot. I've been super verbal about my wants and needs, and he always brushes them off. I've tried 1,000 different ways of communicating what I'm thinking and feeling, and he never listens or tries to make a change. Things just keep getting worse. I don't know how else to help our marriage. Nothing I do works. I'm so lonely in this relationship. Child. She said, edit. It's not all bad. He can be thoughtful at times. He's really helpful around the house and with the kids. And it's just the romance connection that I feel is lacking. Damn, y'all got kids already? Okay. My thing is, sweetheart, you've only been married for 2 years and been together for 3 years. If I could go back to the first 2 years of my marriage, first 2 years, we dated for 1.5 years and then married 2 years in, I would agree. Very miserable. He was just a jerk off. He was not a good husband, which I always vocalized to him, like, you're a crappy husband. And to be honest with you, it's just one of those things. That's what happens when you get married. You're combining every aspect of your lives together. Not just the good, but the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So I feel like this is, honestly, I still feel this way about marriage. Like, marriage is so hard. You may have 3 good days where you're like, I love this person. I can't imagine doing anything without them. And then you can go a week where you don't even want to talk to them. And then you go back and you may have 5 really, really good days. And then you have 2 days of just arguing over something crazy and ridiculous. It's a constant roller coaster of up and down, up and down. Marriage is exhausting. It's like, I feel like so bittersweet because it's like the best of the best, but also the worst of the worst. And when you sign up for marriage, it's not just going to be for the romance. It's not just going to be for the lovey-doveyness. It's, are you going to work through those hard moments? Are you going to stay committed through those hard moments? And that's hard. That's really challenging because it's such a level of commitment that can be sometimes painful to you. You know, nobody wants to be in a relationship where you feel like you're being ignored, whether it's your fault or it's just something that your spouse is going through, but you have to deal with it and you have to work through it and know that this isn't the last hard time we're going to have. And eventually things will get better and then things will get a little worse and we'll keep moving forward. We'll take 5 steps forward, 3 steps back, 5 steps forward, 2 steps back. It's a constant. So I would say, and again, everybody has a transition time. Like, I feel like when I got into my marriage, I was ready. Like, my parents were married. All the adults in my life were basically married. And I was raised to be a married woman, meaning that my parents raised me to, manage a home and to just like really be about my family. And my husband did not have that upbringing. And so I feel like it's been hard because he's starting from like not even ground zero. He's starting from negative 100,000 feet down. And even me coming in with preconceived notions about what a marriage should look like and feeling like I understand it all. starting at zero and being wrong about a lot of stuff, because every relationship is different and you have to customize your marriage for you guys. We still go through stuff. Literally, the last 3 days, we went and picked the kids up from school. He said something about a parking spot, and it just blew me so bad. And I just stopped talking to him. I'm like, I just can't, because you're irritating me so bad. And that's life, that's marriage. And so my best advice was, you're in there for the right reasons, love, and you guys have the kids, but it has to be more than love. It has to be the commitment of, I want to stick by this person even when things aren't quite so good. And keep vocalizing what you're feeling, because eventually he'll get it. That's what I'll say. Eventually, things, everybody processes things at a different time. I'm gonna read some of the comments. Somebody says some men and sometimes women feel when they secure their partner, they don't need to try to keep you around. In their mind, they don't need to put in any work because you're already there. I will agree with that. And again, it's transitional. If it's not in that, if it's not in your spouse's nature to do all of that, and they did all of that while you were dating, yeah, once you guys get married, they may kind of step back, and you just have to keep letting them know, hey, I need this. This is the need for me. But two, realize that once we get married, things are going to change. Like, I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like when you get married, the dating and all the romance stuff, all of that, it's not realistic for it to stay top priority. I'm just talking reality. In a perfect world, yeah, sure, we would love, for our spouses to stay romantic and blah, blah, blah. But it's not realistic, and it's something you have to keep working on. Okay. Child, let's see. Last story. Oh, husband wants to cheat because of my libido. Here we go. I have a low libido, and I struggle to sexually satisfy my husband. It has been an ongoing problem for us for the past few years. We have been in therapy. Today he told me that he wants to have sex with another woman, and if I want to divorce over it, he understands, and said that we will work together to make things fair for both of us in divorce. I was devastated and told him not to do it. He said he will give me anything I need, but just doesn't ask him to not have sex anymore. Oh, but just don't ask him not to have sex anymore. I don't even know what to ask him other than be more patient with me, but he is not willing to give it to me. He has made up his mind and wants me to think about what do I want. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to start with comments first while I get my thoughts together. What's causing the low libido? It sounds like he's been patient throughout the process by going to therapy and such. He probably has made up his mind that nothing will change. I will commend him for trying and having the talk with you about separation and divorce before actually stepping outside the marriage should things come down to it. Look, sexual incompatibility is a real thing, and couples break up often because of it. No partner should live in misery if the other can't meet their needs. I agree. I don't understand the idea that sex isn't or shouldn't be important. Wow. Damn. Okay, so my feeling is, first of all, the title is misleading. Husband wants to cheat because of my low libido. No, he doesn't want to cheat. He wants to leave you, sweetheart. There's a difference. Second of all, low libido, baby. Okay. I think that's a crazy reason to get divorced, but She didn't say how long they've been together. I want them to work it out. I want him to be a little more patient, but I want her to take it serious about getting into her libido and, doing some, therapy and a lot of like soul searching about why she has such a low libido. Everybody is different. I would say in my relationship, I won't say I have a low libido, but it's kind of like mid-low. And I would say my husband has a high libido. Yeah. Ooh, child. My best advice would be try to work on it within yourself. And if you come to the end of it and you just cannot meet his sexual needs, then I guess, go your separate ways. That would be a really crazy reason to divorce. But then I'm looking on the flip side. If the sex is important to him and he's not getting that need met, then he doesn't want to cheat. I don't know. This is the hard one. Because she said cheat, but it's not really cheating. He just want to leave your butt. That's crazy. Oh, what do y'all think? I'm really conflicted. I'm not mad at him for wanting to separate. I'm not mad at him for being honest and saying, look, baby, this is not changing. She said we've been in therapy. When I went to therapy, we literally did sex therapy. And at the time, we both rated our sex lives at a 0. We were like, there's nothing there. And one of the things that we ended up, like, she would give us exercises, and it was working on our connectedness and our intimacy. I remember one of the exercises she gave us was like basically non-sexual connection. So she had us sit, she's like, at night when it's just you guys, the kids are asleep, sit on the bed face to face and just like kiss and make out. Don't have sex, just kiss and make out, and see where that goes. And I will say that helped, but then also removing some of the barriers that were present for us. Like for me, it was the things outside of the bedroom that helped get me charged up. It's the non-sexual things. It's not feeling like I'm his mom, not feeling like I have to tell him every single thing to do, feeling completely or as close to completely as supported as possible when it comes to the house, when it comes to our future. Like those type of things get me really, really excited and make me want to give myself to my partner. Whereas for him, it don't take nothing. Like he will want it. If I'm being mean to him and I roll over like, hey, let's do something, he will be like, okay. It does not. Nothing matters to him. He just wants it. And I'm really the complete opposite. It takes me a long time to warm up. And I know that comes from abandonment issues that I have from my upbringing. It comes from being abused in that way as a child. It comes from seeing, how can I say this? It comes from seeing women who worked the streets and seeing sex seeing sex being exchanged for money does something for me to a young girl, because it takes away like the rose colored glasses are off. When you think of intimacy, you're like, oh, they're in love and he loves her and she loves him. But being really young and seeing things like that, it just kind of turns you cold into the real reality of like, you're just looking for an NUT, and that's it. You're not looking for that close connectedness. So I do feel like at times I have a distorted view on it, and I can be very calloused, or like, where's the value in it if it's just something that you can just do for exchange for money? Or I always say it's a selfish thing. Like when I really get disconnected from him, I'm like, it's all about you having a warm body to get your nut on, and it takes me a long time to warm up and to take all that other stuff out of my head and just focus on he and I and what we have. And I can't do that with just a back rub or lit candles or, freaky talk in a text message. It has to be outside of the bedroom. What does his commitment look like to me, towards me and towards our family? And when those things are good, then my libido goes up. But when when those areas are lacking, my libido is low. So I went on a whole tirade about me, but yeah, basically I feel like she didn't say how many years they've been together, but maybe spend a few more years of just trying to figure it out, because you don't want to quit something and then later to find out that you had something magical. Not perfect, but just it's workable. And so I would say, sweetheart, really do some research into what you need for your libido to go up, and see if your husband has a high libido. I'm sure he'd be willing to do a lot of stuff to help you get to where you need to be in, a certain level of comfort. So I would say try to work on it for a little bit longer, and then maybe it's best to go your separate ways. But this is really sad because, marriage is kind of supposed to be forever. And I hate to see it go bad because of sex. But on the other flip side, would you rather him literally cheat on you and be screwing a whole bunch of other girls behind your back and hiding it? No, you wouldn't. So you're going to have to choose your poison. Either, get serious about it and go on a personal journey and figure yourself out, or respect that he's trying to respect you and your sanctity of marriage and trying to exit and do it the right way, even though it's a very difficult situation. All right, you guys, that's all I have. This is my first, this is a 30-minute video. This is my first long video, and I'm going to start doing more of these, rolling out 3 or 4 stories each time and just getting them uploaded. Anybody who started a YouTube channel, you guys know how easy it is to just get busy with your life and forget to upload. So I'm going to try to do better. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.